Hey everybody, hope you guys are all healthy and safe. So today we're taking a look at the Huawei MatePad 11. So this is the smaller model of the MatePad 12.6 that I tested about a month and a half ago. So these are relatively new releases. They're Huawei's 2021 edition of the tablet line. And just like the larger model, this is among one of the first Huawei devices to run HarmonyOS. So the MatePad 11, as the name implies, has an 11-inch screen. This is a 2560 by 1600 resolution panel. It's an LCD panel, so not an OLED panel like the larger model, but the refresh rate is 120 Hz, so animations are very smooth. So inside the tablet runs on a Snapdragon 865 with 6 gigs of RAM. So if you know your smartphones, you already know these are not totally newest components. These components are more than a year old, but 865 is more than good enough for an entry-level tablet. This is not the premium tablet in Huawei's line. That would be the 12.6. Now the device is really thin and lightweight. It measures just 0.3 inches in thickness and it weighs 487 grams, which is just about 1 pound. In terms of storage, you get either 64, 128 or 256 gigs of storage, and you can extend the memory via an SD card. Now there's only one 13 megapixel camera in the back, so you don't have that triple camera system in the larger model, but to be honest, you really need a triple camera system in a tablet. And around the front, you have an 8 megapixel selfie camera, or webcam in this case. And the good news is it's actually in a good location in the middle of the top bezel. So that means when you're in a video call, you are looking straight ahead at people. Unlike on an iPad, the webcam is here on the side. So when I'm on a video call on an iPad, I'm always looking at the side. Like I'm talking to you, but I'm looking like this. The speakers are really good. You have 4 speakers, 2 on the left, 2 on the right.
I got breaking news for you. I might become a member, man. I fixed my knees up, bro.
Now you probably noticed that the screen is really reflective. That's actually one of the main gripes I have with the hardware. Probably the only gripe I have. It's that the screen is laminated in a way that is really reflective. When I sit by a window, there's always glare. But if I move inside a little bit, away from direct sunlight, then the screen looks great. So as I said earlier, the tablet runs HarmonyOS. So I think it goes without saying, I think by now a lot of you guys know that you can't install Google apps on this tablet. So you can't run YouTube natively, you can't run like Google Docs, Google Drive. However, like I said before, while that's a major deal breaker for a lot of people, including myself, on phones, for a tablet, it's not that big of a deal because you can access most of these services through the web browser anyway. Like on YouTube, you can watch YouTube on a web browser and it's fine. And if you're using like a Mac, you don't have dedicated apps for Google Docs and Google Drive anyway. You have to access those things via the web browser, which you can do here. Now as for other non-Google US apps like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they all work well. You can download them quite easily via a third-party app store like APK Pure, or if you go into Huawei's own Petal search, they'll do a good job of directing you to the original source to download the app. For example, if you search for Facebook on Petal search, it will take you to facebook.com where you can download the app directly from Mark Zuckerberg's website. Now one thing I noticed is that Instagram runs actually interestingly on HarmonyOS. Let me show you. So you can only see this when you're in landscape mode, but basically when you jump into Instagram on landscape mode and then you tap into a story, it opens a story in a separate window in the split screen. So you can actually go through your friend's story while still cycling the main feed. That's actually pretty damn cool. I don't think I've seen this anywhere else before. Usually in Instagram, when you watch a story, that kicks you out of that feed, that takes over your whole screen. But here, I can surf my feed, main feed, while still continue to watch stories. And this is actually resizable. So it treats it like it's 2 separate windows. Now because the tablet is so lightweight, the screen has 120 Hz refresh rate and the speakers are really good, that makes this tablet really good for gaming and binging Netflix. Because when you're gaming, you don't want a tablet that's too big because then it's a little bit heavy because you have to hold it with your hand. So this is light and small enough that I can just sit back on the couch and just play games like this for hours without tiring my arms. Likewise, you can watch movies like this and it's fine, and the speakers look great. This screen's aspect ratio is ideal for watching movies too because it's a widescreen, but unfortunately that means it's not so practical for writing work because when I do writing, I want a taller screen. I want a 3:2 aspect ratio. Now the Huawei MatePad 11 sells for around 400 euros. That's in Europe. In China, it's a little bit cheaper as usual. It starts at 2,700 Chinese yuan, which comes out to around 385. So under 400 US dollars if you buy it in China. But that's just for the tablet. Now I think that's a pretty good deal for a good looking, relatively powerful tablet that you can play games, watch movies on, and carry with you anywhere you go because it's so light and thin. To really take advantage of this tablet though, you need to get the keyboard and the Huawei M Pencil, the stylus. Now I don't know the official price of the keyboard and the stylus, but Huawei prices these a little bit more reasonably compared to Apple. So for example, this is not going to cost you like 200 US dollars. You can probably buy this in China for maybe around 100 US dollars, 150 US dollars. But either way, if you want to get the entire package with the keyboard and the included stylus, you can expect to bump another 150 to 200 US dollar on top of the prices I just listed. So that would be close to $600 US dollars if you're buying the China version. If you're buying Europe, maybe 600 euros. The tablet with all the accessories, and I quite like it because even with the case, it's really thin and lightweight. This is something that I can bring with me anywhere, and it's really easy for me to just rip it out, put it on a table, put it on a lap, and start doing work. Now, unfortunately, as I said, I am not a fan of the aspect ratio of the screen when I'm doing writing work because I just want a taller screen, but it is still passable. And as you can see, I'm running Google Doc here now without any issue. And this keyboard is great. Keys are evenly spaced, and there's actually quite a bit of travel. I would say a little bit under 1mm, so I can type very easily on this keyboard. I can probably type at close to my maximum speeds. Now, unfortunately, there is no trackpad here, as you can see. So when you are doing work, you do have to leave your keyboard regularly just to maneuver around the screen. I've gotten used to the iPad Pro and the Galaxy Tab S7 where I can just move around with a trackpad. Now, fortunately, you can pair a Bluetooth mouse or trackpad with this tablet, and HarmonyOS will pick it up and it will show an on-screen cursor, and then from that point on you can get around really easily just like you would any other laptop. Now, just like Huawei smartphones, the MatePad 11 has a pretty intuitive multitasking gesture. So you just swipe from the sides and hold, you bring up this menu, and then from here you can just tap an app, drag it on here to open in split screen view. Now what if you don't want to open a calculator in such a giant screen? Then just tap on it and it'll open the calculator in a floating window. You can also add your own apps too. So let's say right now I want to open my email app, which is Outlook. So you just have to tap add, you can tap Outlook on here, and then now Outlook should be here. You just have to tab, drag, and I will have Outlook on a split screen window. And then you see I have my Gmail account signed up successfully on Microsoft Outlook. So you can indeed get your Gmail even though you're using a Huawei device that doesn't support Google Apps officially. Likewise with Google Calendar, Outlook also supports Calendar. So that means I have all my Google Calendar stuff in here too. So this is what I mean by it's not that big a deal to not have Google Apps on a tablet. It's a huge deal on a phone because you don't want to mess with going to the browser, all of that when you're on a small device. But when you have a desktop bound computer like device, you can access all your stuff, Google stuff via web browser or Microsoft Outlook. Okay, now let's check out the Huawei stylus known as the M Pencil. It's pretty intuitive to use. So as you can see, you can draw and it can detect various points of pressure. So right now I'm gonna go really light. You can barely see what I'm scribbling. I'm gonna go harder. You can see that it's a darker mark because I'm going harder. It has good palm rejection, so I can put my palm all over the screen and it's not gonna get in the way. And there's some really smart features too, such as Huawei free script. So basically, any window that allows you to input text, you can use this pencil and you can do gestures, like you can scribble to get rid of the entire address bar. Scribble, get rid of words, or you can just directly write on it. So you can be like, hi, man, Now it shows a Hi-Man. You want to highlight it, just draw a line through it and it'll highlight. You can scribble it to get rid of it. And many other smart features that Huawei has designed across all of its entire lineup of consumer products are here too. For example, you have Huawei Share directly built onto the keyboard. So the keyboard case has an NFC pad right here in the lower right corner. When you tap a Huawei smartphone into this area, it will start Huawei Share immediately, after which your smartphone will be synced with the MatePad 11. That way you can see exactly what's on your smartphone, interact with your smartphone directly on the MatePad 11. You can also wirelessly beam whatever's on the screen to a Huawei laptop or a monitor like the Huawei Mate View. So Huawei's been trying to build a seamlessly connected ecosystem between all of its products, and the Huawei MatePad 11 fits very nicely with its smartphones and tablets and monitors. So anyway, this is the MatePad 11. I do wish Huawei had gone with a newer Qualcomm SoC, because Snapdragon 865 is almost going to be 2 generations old now. It's 1 generation old now, but the 888, it's already nearing the end of its life cycle. The next one is going to come in like 3 or 4 months. Then when that happens, this will be 2 generations old. Now the 865 is still plenty capable, but I do think if you're buying a new product in 2021, it does make you think a little bit to know that this SoC here is more than a year and a half old. But you know, I'm nitpicking, because if Huawei had gone with a Snapdragon 888, then the price of this would have gone up by another $200–300. Then this thing would be close to $1,000. I think as it is right now, $600 to $700 for this is a pretty good deal, if you can get around the fact that you can't load some Google apps on here. But honestly, it's not that big a deal on a tablet. So that's about it for this video. If you're interested in more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel or follow me on Instagram at Ben's Gadget Reviews. I have a lot more stuff coming up, so thanks for watching.